Hello, my digital scrapbook friends. Welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Lydia from Lydia's Scrapbook. Welcome to my little studio. Thanks for joining me here. Today we are going to dive into another fun masking technique in Photoshop. I will show you how to tuck elements into a photo so they look like they truly belong there. This tutorial is actually part 1 of a 2-part series. So today we'll focus on adding elements into a photo, and in the next video, we'll look at the opposite, how to take something out of a card and turn it into its own digital element. Let's get started. Let's start by opening the photos for this project. I'm going to use this photo of pumpkins and a cup of coffee from unsplash.com for our composite. And then we'll add elements from the kit. So what's the perfect photo to use for compositing? The truth is you can use almost any photo. You can let your imagination be your guide. For example, here is a composite I created. I started with a photo of a big tree, then added a door, imagining a secret woods I might have discovered while hiking in California. Okay, back to our photo. I'm going to duplicate it and use the duplicate for this project. One way I like to duplicate a photo is by going to the History panel and clicking the paper plus icon right here in the bottom. If you don't see the History panel, go to the menu bar and select Window, and then click History. Now you can close the original photo. Here I have already added the photo I'm going to use onto a new 12 by 12 document at 300 pixels per inch with a white background. Next, I will click and drag this confetti into the photo document. And I'll just place it right here. Okay. I will just resize it a little bit. All right. And then we'll just click the check mark to commit the change. In the Layers panel, I will click on the Layer Mask icon. To prepare, press D to reset the foreground and background colors to black and white, and then press B to get the brush tool. From the Brush Preset Picker menu, choose a hard round brush. I will set the size to about 200 pixels to start. But remember, you can resize quickly with the left and right bracket keys. Press X to switch between black and white. Here, I want to hide parts of the confetti so it looks like some pieces are tucked under the pumpkin right here. To do that, first I'm going to press X and I will brush with black to conceal those parts. Okay, and here I will just put a little bit right here. All right. Isn't it fun how just a few brush strokes can change the whole look? And to make this effect even more convincing, I will add a shadow. Since we are already on the brush tool, let's set up a new layer for it. And here in the Layers panel, click on this Add a New Layer icon. I will rename this one Shadow Confetti. And then just click the check mark to commit the changes. And let's rename this one too. I will rename this one Confetti. Now, from the Brush Preset Picker menu, I will choose Soft Round Brush. And I'll set the size, let's see, just probably around 105, something like that. Wait, I think I will do it around 130. And set the mode to normal and the opacity and flow down to about 20%. All right. Over here, don't worry if your settings look a little different. This part is all about experimenting and finding what works for your photo. Press letter D to reset your foreground and background color chip icon. And in the Layers panel, make sure that you are in a shadow confetti layer. Now, with a soft black brush, I will gently paint in some shadows where they naturally fall. So I will just put it right here. Just brush it really fast and quick. And also just want to have it light a little bit right there. So right here. This step really helps the confetti feel like it belongs in a photo. Can you see how it's already blending in better? Now let's do it one more time. This time with this piece of gauze. Okay, I will get the move tool, and here I will drag it into the photo. I will resize it and name this layer gauze. Whoops. Before masking, let's quickly add a drop shadow. Here are the settings I'm using. I will set the blend mode to multiply, the opacity to 46%, the angle to 90 degrees, and check use global light. And I will set the distance to 20 pixels. I will set the spread to 3%, and I'll set the size to 68 pixels. Then click OK. Now I will add a layer mask. Grab the brush tool or press B to get the brush tool and choose a hard round brush again. I will set it to about 200 pixels with the opacity and the flow to 100%. With black as the foreground color, I will brush away parts of the gauze I want to hide. And here, sometimes it helps to lower the opacity of the gauze layer temporarily. So I'm going to lower it to like about 61% so you can see better. Take your time here. There is no rush. The more patient you are, the more natural it will look. Then bring it back up to 100% again once you're done. Next, I will refine the shadow. So click on the gauze layer. Right-click the drop shadow effect and choose Create Layer. Then hold down Alt, Mac, Option key and drag the gauze layer mask onto the gauze's drop shadow layer. This way the shadow follows the same masking, and any extra shadow that would have overlapped the blanket disappears instantly. See how that little detail makes everything feel more real? It's small steps like this that really pull your composite together. Alright, that wraps up the first part of our project where we blended elements into our photo. But we're not done yet. Next time, I will show you how to pull something out of an image, like this pumpkin, and turn it into its own digital element. It's one of my favorite techniques. And if you don't want to miss it, make sure you are subscribed and have notifications on so you will know when it's live. So, what's one element you'd love to add to a photo in your own layout? Let me know in the comments. And as always, keep on scrapping.